By Zerg versus Hasuobs in Game 2 right here on the Tal'Darim altar. I bring you July in the red trunks. He is playing Zerg, as you can see, versus his opponent, the one and only mousesports Hasuobs.
Absolutely, and once again on a jungle map. While it is not really meaning anything, but it is green and nice. I really like jungle maps most. It's just beautiful.
It's the aesthetics, isn't it? You know, it's that stark contrast between total destruction and the incineration of mortal beings and trees.
Yeah, and I like the theme of Zerg infesting it and Protoss fighting against it, trying to save their home planets.
It's a bit Avatar, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little
exactly what it is. They want to save the
and then it's really more about Smurfs.
Yeah, it actually kind of is, come to think of it. I'm fairly sure. Who was the bad guy in Smurfs? I can't remember.
Isn't it like Gargamel?
Gargamel, yes. Yeah. So Gargamel's basically trying to destroy the tree, destroy the Smurfs to get the unobtainium. That's obviously what's happening.
Couldn't agree more.
This has nothing to do with the game, but it's fantastic. Now, Hasuobs with a forward pylon right here.
Absolutely. Standard player here. He just wants to take the expansion as quickly as possible. And obviously a nice choice on Tal'Darim because early pressure is almost impossible and we'll almost always see a fast expand from Protoss.
Yep, makes perfect sense. It's a good map for it, and it's obviously one of the reasons that these games of Tal'Darim Multi have a tendency to be a bit longer than most.
Absolutely. You don't have so many options to put on early pressure. The choke point is really small, especially on that edition of Tal'Darim. There are many different versions of Tal'Darim out there, and that one is definitely the most fast expand friendly map out there.
Oh yeah. Finding versions of maps is always fun, and by fun I mean unbelievably frustrating to find the right one in a tournament. I think in my Invitational I actually used the old Shakuras. Turns out the MLG Shakuras on US is fully up to date. The MLG Shakuras on EU is about a year out of date. It has the back rocks and everything.
Oh.
It's not good.
Yeah. Talking about Blizzard and the ideal system of having maps like that out there. It's retarded that you can't actually save maps just locally on your computer.
Yeah, that would be really nice. That would be absolutely fantastic. I could just have my collection of tournament maps. I know these are the maps that work.
Yeah.
And these are the maps that are actually the right versions as opposed to this version. I mean, to be fair, they approve so many different versions as well. I suppose it's kind of not their fault, really. They don't want to be too restricted, but seriously, do we really need 27 versions of Metalopolis?
Probably not.
I can think of a few circumstances where we would need 27 versions of Metalopolis.
Sometimes, I guess.
You just want a bit of variety in your life, Daria.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be surprised, isn't it?
Let's go about spice. Yeah, what do you want? Hazel to the photon cannon going down there. Standard play with the forward fast expansion and the gateway at the front looking good. July Zerg on the other hand with an expansion of his own, knowing that he's not under threat from getting blocked off.
Absolutely, and once again going for quick speed links, just wanting to have control there. And Hasuobs will have to block his choke by one more building, which is going to make him sacrifice one of his own buildings later on, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's going to do it nonetheless. There's the Cybernetics squad going down at the front. And we have a little bit of an Artosis pylon going on right here with the single one. Needless to say, wouldn't build another pylon there, but it's always risky. I always stare at these pylons, this single pylon powering everything, and I just think that looks so fragile.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's not like that pylon is going to be touched anytime soon.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I just like killing pylons. What can I say?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's actually my priority. I just see a pylon and I run right for it. And even if it's not optimal, I do it anyway. It makes me feel good.
Makes you feel good to destroy little cute crystals just floating around?
I wouldn't call them cute. They look menacing. Have you seen those things? They're spiky. You can cut yourself on one of those.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't trust it.
Maybe it's my StarCraft 1 speaking when I was through Protoss.
Yeah. It doesn't look all that eco-friendly either. I think the Protoss need to go green. Bit of wind power, little turbines on top of the buildings.
But it's like turning. Maybe it's wind power.
It's a possibility. That's one strong friggin' wind, or for one very light crystal. Let's see. Robotics facility on the way up for Hasuobs right here on one gateway.
It's pretty nice play by Hasuobs there. Not being too safe though against any kind of all-in, but July Zerg is not doing anything like that.
Nope.
So an early robotics might play out nicely for him, giving him a really quick Colossus timing, I guess.
Yep. Also, of course, give him the quick observer, which will give him valuable scouting information, which, as we know, July Zerg loves to deny.
Yeah, absolutely. So an observer is a perfect choice against July there. And as we know, July Zerg always has some surprises up his sleeve, so an early observer is not going to hurt at all.
No, I wouldn't trust him. You know, I mean, obviously, I like the guy, but I wouldn't trust him.
No, never trust Zerg.
Absolutely not, especially not Korean Zerg. Yeah, Lord, you know, I can trust the Protoss. You know, I think they're a bit misguided, but I trust the Protoss.
You can trust Protoss. I don't know where that's coming from.
Well, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit naive in that regard.
Nah, I think so.
Robotics Bay coming down right here, as you said. Needless to say, a quick Colossus timing will be available to Hasuobs if he chooses to pursue that. And once again, we've got Hydralisk going for July, and this time I think that the Colossus count of his opponent's going to be significantly higher.
Absolutely, he's going to have range upgrade in time, and he's going to have 3 quick Colossus. Probably opening up a nice timing window for him if July just decides to go for heavy Hydra build again. Not even having a Roach variant available.
Yeah, it's curious, isn't it? The Zergling Hydralisk you'd think would be, well, this entire build gets countered by lots of Colossus, but it's July Zerg, and it's a Nidus Worm.
It's a Nidus Worm indeed, and that might actually put Hasuobs in a lot of trouble as he's very low in Warp Gate units, and Colossus are not going to be in time there after all if he gets a Nidus Worm in there.
Yep, he can strike across the map, and it's becoming more and more common on Tal'Darim, actually, and that's a fantastic thing. I actually saw Morrow use Nidus Worm on Tal'Darim a bit earlier, and he actually just Nidused at the front of his opponent's base.
I think that's exactly what's going to be happening once again, because the Overlord is in position there. He's going to be killing the Forge and moving in there.
Yeah. I don't see why not, and it should be good. The question is, will Hasuobs be ready for that? That Overlord driven away, but of course we do have another one, and it's good position, and you can see it right there, just at the bottom of his base, to the south, and right next to the pylon. Here it comes, and where's the response? Hasuobs moving in. He's looking to try and force field off this Nidus Worm. A couple of Warpins going in. Can he take this down? He does it. Nicely done. Great timing right there by Hasuobs.
Second Nidus Worm coming in at the front now, but even there was a Stalker by Hasuobs. He's going to be taking out the second Nidus Worm as well, being in a huge lead against July Zerg now.
That really helps, you know, Nidus Worms are not free. You can't just keep building them like that.
No, absolutely not. This was a ton of minerals, a lot of gas, and now Hasuobs is in a lead of 10 probes, having higher tech, better upgrades, and is just in a beautiful spot.
It's where you want to be against a player like July Zerg. Well ahead. Even then, July Zerg is incredibly intimidating. More Nidus going in right here, or at least loading more into the Nidus Worm. The question is, where is he going with it?
That is a good question
yeah,
indeed.
It's Nidus at the front, as you can see right there. Just to try and shorten the distance, it's an intergalactic superhighway, folks, for the Zerg. And July now streaming in. He wants to try and get in there before he gets too many Colossus, I would think. Force field play, very nice there by Hasuobs, and preventing that attack.
Absolutely, and the second Colossus is going to be on the field. Range upgrade was forgotten by Hasuobs. He's now it's giving him a little bit of trouble, but beautiful force field once again, cutting the army in half. And July Zerg
GG, ladies and
already.
gentlemen.